Good afternoon, fellow Americans and creatures of the Lord. Today is the beginning of a big adventure for me. I have went through so much that honestly no one could probably ever imagine what me and my children went through, and the corruption that we've dealt with, the system that has taken more than I could ever imagine. And to be honest, it's just at this point, um, the world is becoming a scary place, especially for those of us who are not like a lot of others and have to struggle from day to day to make ends meet. But at the same time, I know that I have a lot of faith in the Lord to make things better, and the fact that we're seeing our country change right in front of us and expose what I would like to think anymore is Satan at his finest when it comes to the corruption that we deal with and we watch on TV every day, along with people like Letitia James trying to shut down their piggy bank and hold everyone else accountable for their corruption. I deal with that very same thing on a smaller base in a little place called Ponca City, Oklahoma. Now, some of you have been here, some of you, it's just a speck. Like a lot of us out there, we're just a number. We're something that don't mean nothing to a system, to the point where I watched a police station coming out of Ponca City PD do some of the most tyrannous shit I've ever seen in my life, folks. It's disgusting, especially with one officer, Ethan Evans, who is a tyrant at heart and is more corrupt than anything I've ever seen. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be happy when I take the badge off of his chest for the shit that he's tried to do to my family. Now, when I speak of this stuff, we the end people, understand one thing. Coming from the district that I'm in, 8, here in Oklahoma, it consists of 2 counties, Kay and Noble County. It has the same district attorneys and all that good shit like a lot of the other places, the judges and everything else like that. And for one of the assistant district attorneys, Shauna Taylor, she goes above and beyond and is excessive in making sure that charges are falsified, stories are made up, to the point where all the way going back to last October, and I have documentation before that of the text and the phone calls that I received and all the suspicious activity that led me up to saying something to the state about what was going on with the school I was going to at the time. And in the process, come to find out that that school was stealing money from me and my federal loans. When I spoke up about that, a story was created the very next day, but at the same time, they paid me a $1,008 check. Now, a lot of these other people who went to the school told me that was hush money. Along with the lady who ran the state board for here, cosmetology, I was going to be a barber here, and wanted to get a barber shop going. But come to find out, you run in all kinds of stuff that I never imagined I'd run into in the process. So when I called this head of the state, her name was Leah Longus. At the time, I actually just called the state board to get the proper websites and everything to file documentation so I could file complaints. Within an hour and a half, I had this Leah Longus calling me from the Utah airport while she was getting off, grabbing her luggage, telling me, well, look, we can go ahead and put you in a barber program where you can do an apprenticeship with anybody in Oklahoma. All you got to do is take down your videos and everything else, and we'll help you out. I'll tell Buffy to cease and desist at the same time, and we'll go from there. At this point, I told Leah Longus, I'm not for sale. I will be more than happy to use my First Amendment, my freedom of speech, which we all know here recently, our great President Trump has made legal again, which people have violated consistently in the most harsh manners I've ever seen in this county. To violate me and my freedom of speech and the videos I make, they've tried to use it against me in court. Now, here's the thing. Mr. Wilkie, Miss Taylor, everybody in District 8, I will never be quiet about what you do. I will not stop until you people have literally been taken care of in the sense of a legal way, along with the Judicial Board and the Attorney General's office. And I've heard constantly over the past month of what you guys like to try to do to people who talk to the Attorney General's office here in Kay County, Oklahoma. So it's not going to stop. I'm not going to just back off for anybody. And I will never be quiet. So those out there who have dealt with situations like this, especially coming from District 8, who've dealt with the corrupt David Wilkie, who've dealt with the corrupt Shauna Taylor, and have dealt with the district attorney's office and the system in a sense, and would be more than happy to share with me and my channel, I would be more than happy to blast them and do everything I need to in the process of using my constitutional rights, along with the fact that they will try to violate every due process they can and tell me to be quiet. I will tell you one thing here recently. I have come back and had faith in God more than I could ever imagine, in a sense where I've asked Him to watch over everything that's going on. And I know and I have faith with everything in my heart that the good Lord is on my side, and that you folks out there who are tired of watching a world that stomps on little people and thinks they can do whatever they want, just like the Democratic Party and everybody else around here who thinks that if you're not woke, you need to go broke. Well, that's what we're here to talk about, folks. It's not about being woke. It's about being awake. This right here, 2025, is the year of the awakening. Resurrection for everyone else who has ever dealt with a situation like this and has come above and beyond to overcome those situations. I believe with all my heart and everything that I stand for that the Lord will put you exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. So with that being said, every video I make on here, I would like to share a Bible verse with you because it's something that I have done and come across in the past month or so that really helps me out. And I want to share with everybody out there. I'm going with John chapter 16, verse 33. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Lord, I hope you're listening. Us little guys down here, we're tired of getting stepped on. We're not going to take it anymore. And for those out there in District 8 who think you can do whatever you want to families, especially my 4 kids, and overrun us in corruption, especially you, Mr. Wilkie, with what you like to do, I have more than enough over the past 5 years of the stuff you've ignored, all the way going back to 2019, where people like you ingratiates like to cover up bestiality around children and say that it's safe to cover that up in a court, along with all kinds of good documentation I have all the way from Istanbul, Turkey, of people creating up stories about me and being exposed, something that David Wilkie completely ignored in the process. I have all this stuff from all the way back 6 years ago. So when it comes down to everything you guys are trying to do to me, everything you want to come at me with, everything else that everybody deals with on this type of situation, just know that there are people out there who will not take it anymore. I'm one of those people. So for those of you who have harassed, have stalked my children and my family, who have assaulted me and thought that it was okay because, well, folks, to be honest, if you can't tell here, I'm a big boy, 6'3", 260, and I do not tolerate any shit off of anyone, not in a violent way, though, because that's one thing that I have basically have to overcome here lately, is that if I say something, it's basically like watching Godzilla run through a city. But all I do is stand there and look at him. And it's, oh my God, he's a ticking time bomb. No, I'm big. I have a voice. I'm intelligent. And the one thing I will not tolerate anymore is watching this corrupt ass system tear apart families and think you guys will get away with it. So anybody out there, especially here, the good old Oklahoma, District 8, Kay County, Noble County, please share your information with me. Please share some contacts with me. Please go ahead and send off all the numbers you can for every OSBI agent, FBI agent, Attorney General's office person, and internal affairs people that you can get a hold of for me, because this right here is a reckoning for these corrupt assholes and what they are going to try to do to me and my kids. And I say this because in 3 days I get to step in front of this guy again, and then turn around next month on the 7th, step in front of him again. You think that they don't try to mess with me, folks? You could only imagine. And you could go in and try to read the documentation on me and everything else. I promise you one thing, it's all bullshit and bogus. Going wrong with every PO you've already tried to hit me with the bullshit stories that you'll try to cover up for one reason and one reason only, because you know the only thing that will ever bother me, ever break my heart, won't shake me, by the way, and it won't break me, but you do tear my heart up when you mess with my kids, and the fact that you've taken basically 3 of my dogs here recently and got rid of them. Now, that's 5 dogs total that you guys have literally taken from me in the process. And for those out there who don't understand, for people who, we're not big on always hanging out with other humans. I should say I'm not by any means a hermit or anything like that. But I like to keep my peace after everything I've been through, and was raising my 4 kids for the past 2 years by myself until I decided to literally try to get a barber's license so I could do something different with my life, because I was getting older and my body is getting tired of doing the same shit, security and everything else for decades. Little did I know that I would land into one of the most corrupt people in schools, and that in the end, like I said, I will shut them down. In the process, you will be getting sued along with the judges, the DA, the police station, and everybody else for what you try to do to families like mine. We're not going to be quiet anymore. Just like you see every day on the news, and the laws changing and people's rights being returned to them the way they should have been, since the country we live in is the land of the free, not the land of be quiet because you're somebody that we find less than us. We're uppity, and we have the right to stomp on people and lie about and get away with stories. No more. K County, I promise you one thing. Your asses are being exposed for what you're doing to me and my children. I will not stop. You will not take my amendment from me. You'll never, ever violate my rights anymore. If you guys think that's me being aggressive, oh my goodness. Oh, well, I have a voice. I'm going to use it. If you don't like it, I advise you to straighten your asses up. Folks, this is my first video. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. Any of you who have stories who'd like to be shared and we can talk about over our videos, please let me know. At this time, though, I would appreciate all the subscriptions and the likes you guys give me out there. Please comment and share information if you'd like. And if you're not comfortable sharing it on this channel, go ahead and send me a little something. Let me know you'd like to get a hold of me on the side, and I'll be happy to do that, so you don't have to worry about everything else. I'll take all the heat, as they would say, because there is one thing that I wake up and say every morning: not today, Satan. Everybody out there, keep your heads up, use your voice, and never back down from a world that needs to be changed. Until next time, Godspeed.